Hey everybody, it's Galmadex, and welcome to the Avatar The Last Airbender Collector Booster Box Arena Direct event. As always, Arena Directs are your way to win some physical Magic the Gathering cards by playing digital Magic on Arena. High variance stuff though, it is best of one sealed, trying to hit 7 wins before only 2 losses, so you only have a single loss of breathing room, and it's 8,000 gems to enter this one, which is over $40 of gems. So a very, very high risk, high variance, high stakes event. Definitely not for everybody. Don't feel bad at all if you can't justify spending the $40 at a very slight chance of winning a collector box, because even if you're the greatest players in the world, you have absolutely no guarantee, especially in a format as high variance as best of one sealed. Very famously, Paul Cheon, back during the Magic Foundation's Arena Open Day 1, played 16 runs of best of one sealed, trying to get 7 wins before 3 losses, and did not win a single time, did not get a 7-win run within 16 attempts. So even some of the literal Hall of Fame level best players ever can just get crushed by variance in best of one sealed. So don't feel bad at all if you're not playing this event. If you want to live vicariously through some streamers and YouTubers, though, I will be here for you. I'm going to be trying up to 7 attempts here. I would really like to win the collector box, because we've managed to win a collector box of every other set this year. At least every set they did an Arena Direct of. They didn't do one for Spider-Man, which is fine by me. Don't care about the Spider-Man set anyway. But we won a box of Ether Drift, Tarkir Dragonstorm, 2 boxes of Final Fantasy, and a box of Edge of Eternities. Let's see if we can wrap off the year with a bang, getting a collector booster box of every single set. Without further ado, let's finally bust open these packs and see how far we can make it today. All right, very solid rares here. We have 2 copies of one of the strongest rares, if not the strongest rare in the whole set. The Fire Nation Drill is a 4-mana legendary vehicle. When it enters, you can tap it and destroy a creature with power 4 or less, and then it is crew 2 for a 6/3 trample, so just an excellent 2-for-1 card. Such a large vehicle, they're going to have to throw removal at it or trade off into it later, so you are going to kill one of their best cards and also force them to spend some kind of removal or trade some creature into it at the same time. So that is absolutely beautiful there. There's also Bossing Say for an excellent green rare. It's a good mana sink in the late game. If you're both flooded out, you just start working up a big land creature. You can earthbend on the same creature multiple times in a row, start beating down with like a 6/6, then an 8/8, and so on. Bossing Seg's fantastic. Hakoda's great. There's tons of allies in the set, so this can draw a lot of cards. And then there's, I think, a pretty significant drop-off after that. I mean, Earth King's Lieutenant is really strong for a green-white allies deck, but that's going to be very hard to justify in a double Fire Nation Drill sealed pool. We're incredibly likely to play black as the main color. And then Avatar Destiny has a lot of issues. If your creature gets exiled or bounced or airbended or anything like that, then this card just does nothing. It gets you 2-for-1, which is really bad. So I'm not into the Avatar Destiny. The Waterbender Ascension is quite slow, but it can be a good card draw, spell late in the game. And then Release to Memory is also very game dependent. Unless you randomly have a bunch of mill in your deck for some reason, probably not going to do all that much. So not the greatest other rares here, but some really, really powerful black rares at the very least. So let's check out all our colors now. Starting with multicolored and colorless, this can show us what kind of mana fixing we have to play around with. We've got Barrels and Aang's Journey that we could play as mana fixing in any deck. Signpost and Common Wise, we've got a White Lotus Reinforcements to go with that Earth King's Lieutenant, so that's 2 different green-white ally cards, so that's interesting. Blue-red duel, blue-black duel, and a white-black duel. Okay. Then double blue-white Flyers cards, but again, it's going to be really hard to play anything other than the double Fire Nation Drill deck. So what does our black look like? Because that's very likely to be the core color. And we can put that all together and see what we would want to pair with it. So what is black lacking? Honestly, there's 4 removal spells and a bunch of creatures. Maybe a little bit low on cheap creatures on curve, with double Fire Nation Engineer triggering off of every attack, Fire Navy Trebuchet triggering off of every attack. I think it'd be a great color pair for an aggressive deck if we, or a great color to pair an aggressive color with to make an aggressive deck. So if we have a color that has a lot of like 1 and 2 mana creatures, that would be a pretty good one. But yeah, it's 4 removal spells, plenty of fine filler creatures. We'd prefer to find some better creatures to cut like at least the Canyon Crawlers for, but I think the Beetlehead and Merchants are pretty cute with the Fire Navy Trebuchet. I think you could sequence these triggers to where you make the Trebuchet and then sack it, or make the Boulder then sack it to the Merchants, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. I mean, red gives us Firebending Lesson and Lightning Strike. Does it give us good cheap creatures? It gives us 3 2-mana creatures. One of them is the Tigerdillo, which doesn't look very good in this color pair. A few 3-drops. I should check out my hybrid mana cards as well. Hybrid mana black stuff. So we got Longfang in here as well. Vindictive Warden. So more 3-mana creatures. And then Heibai is okay with Trebuchet post attacks. Could also sack Corrupt Court Official to it, and that's decent. Might get cut if we find better 4-mana stuff, but for now, it's a fine filler 4-mana play. I guess the Fire Nation Drills are 4-mana play as well. Okay, so these are all the black cards. Now that we put those hybrid mana cards in as well. So let's just check all the colors and see what pairs best. Okay, white is pretty awkward on the mana curve. It's just clump at 3 and then go upward. But it gives us Hakoda. And how many allies total in here? There's only 5 allies, though, to go with the Hakoda. So it's Hakoda and 4 other allies. It's just not making Hakoda that strong. And Hakoda is basically the only thing really going on in white, so we can move on from that. For blue, we got Grand, we got Invasion Submersible. We have some really good uncommons there. So I like that. But then again, the mana curve issues remain. And that's kind of it. I mean, Grand, Double Grasp Submersible is good. The rest are quite filler. And not at the greatest mana costs. Okay, Lost Ace is good too. Blue is basically just like good interaction over anything, which is not really what we need. Red might be the color. I mean, it's got triple 2-drop, but again, that Tigerdillo does not look particularly good in here. But I like the Firebending Lesson, the Lightning Strike. Definitely not playing Sozan's Comet. Mongoose Lizard or Cavalry. We might just be stuck with a bit of an awkward mana curve no matter what, but we'll see. Last but not least, hopefully, green? No 2-mana creatures whatsoever. So we are going to be stuck with an awkward mana curve no matter what. Ooh, a lot of these cards are narrow and not good with our black. Ooh, green is not doing it at all here. Yeah. It's basically just the big stuff that's good in green. This stuff is all quite bad for this 2-color build. Okay. I mean, red. Red was interesting. Yeah, just having like no 2-mana creatures in the entire sealed pool is rough. Black has more 2-mana creatures than every other color, and it has 2. And that's if we don't count Tigerdillo, because I don't really count that, because it's not actually an attack or block until at least turn 4. So the most 2-mana creatures we have in any color is 2. We have 2 in black and 2 in red. So mana curve purposes, this is basically the only color pair that would have a mana curve at all. That's kind of wild. Yeah, and I'm fine with this over white, because not only do we get a better mana curve, we also get better removal added in. Alright, simple little black-red deck here. It feels like the sealed pool kind of just shoved us right into this deck without too many other options. We could play like very awkward mana curve, but better late game green, where we have Bossing, say, when we're flooded, and then just some big green creatures, and that's it. But I want to be able to play more consistent early game so that I can just crush with the drill when that thing comes down. Put in our hybrid red cards here. Okay, Sozin's Comet does basically nothing. We have much better removal than barrels. Better removal than Boomy Bash. Still on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 removal. Yeah, we can cut those. Try to go about 16 creatures for this one. We got 22. We can cut 6 of them. Big land cyclers don't tend to be great, but our 5-drops are not great either. Keep all the 2s in here. There's a lot of 3-mana stuff going on in this deck. Some quantity of these could get cut. Oh, the War Balloon, probably. We're not like fire breathing to activate that thing, or fire bending to activate that thing. Keep some of the go wide stuff for Wandering Musicians. Keep the Hayby for more 4-power creatures. To go with the Tiger Dillo. So I run the Freedom Fighters because it works with Musicians and Hayby. Cut this War Balloon. I'm cutting 6 of these. This is so weird. This is like the firebending color pair, and I have almost no firebending, which means Fire Nation attacks goes down a lot in value because usually you can get a little cost reduction on this from firebending it out. Maybe I'm just not even playing that. I mean, it's multiple creatures. So theoretically with Musicians and Hayby, they're big enough to crew the drill. I think I'll still run it, but it is not the best Fire Nation attacks deck. I mean, do I just lean into my lack of early plays and just don't even try to aggro? Cut Musicians and Freedom Fighters and just play 6s in here? I could see it. Maybe even cut Trebuchet and Longfang at that point. But then like Fire Nation Engineer also looks awkward. Because we're just not attacking much early. I like how Longfang and Trebuchet play together. Trigger every turn if we keep attacking. It just feels like, I mean, great rares, that double Fire Nation drill, but just an awkward sealed pool. We looked at every single color. The mana curve is atrocious, whatever colors we play. And that's the big problem. Green-white allies would, like, theoretically be really nice with these two together, but I have one ally in green. Literally one. And it's the 4-mana 2/2 that Earthbends to. Got 5 allies in white at least, but that's still statistically real low for the color pair. Just not really worth those over Fire Nation drills. Okay, let's just accept that things are going to be a little weird and a little awkward, whatever we do. Let's put it all into one pile and then just like build a deck. Pretend this is the whole sealed pool, and then just put our 23 cards in. So definitely Corrupt Court Officials, a Firebending Lesson, 2 Deadly Precisions at 5, a Lightning Strike at 2, like more 2-drops. I'll play a Mai, I'll play an Archers, unsure about Tiger Dillo for now. This gives us 4 2-mana creatures. They're not the best at attacking, but they are supported by a couple cheap removal spells. Don't mind double Fire Nation Engineer. Even if they don't trigger that often, they're probably more consistently good than cards like Vindictive Warden at the least. Probably Tylee as well, because again, we're not that aggressive. Those 4 plus double Fire Nation, I like the Trebuchet in theory then. And then Trebuchet works well with Longfang. These are also expendable creatures with low toughness. They'll die and trigger Longfang. Fire Nation Drill is completely unarguable. Just the best card in the deck. We'll put that there at 4. A couple other 4-drops. Zuko. Unsure about Heibai. Unsure about Wrestlers. Unsure about Musicians. A couple 5s and a couple 6 go high curve with it. We put 4 more cards back into this deck now. "13 creatures. I mean, double merchants. Like in Freedom Fighters. If I'm playing Freedom Fighters and Trebuchet with Heibai. I don't believe I can sack the boulder when I declare an attack with Heibai, but I can certainly sack the boulder main phase 2 when I cast the Heibai the first time. With those as well, Musicians looks a little better. This leaves us 2 Crawler, 2 Merchants, Heibai, Zuko. Some +1/+1 counters from Longfang and Engineer. I think I can Tigerdillo it up. And then we just cut the 6 remaining cards now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it happens. This is what it feels like jumping from draft to sealed. We've just done about a week and a half, 2 weeks of draft now since we've played sealed of the set, and then we moved to sealed, and it's like, like, we really need to work on our mana curve, which is something I would be very conscious of during the draft. We need to work on our synergies and get those more consistent. And it's like, you just don't have control over that. You just don't open a good mana curve. You don't open particularly consistent synergies. Like, what are you going to do? It's not like there's a particularly more synergistic color pair, and there's definitely not a better mana curve color pair. These are the things that I like to keep in the back of my head and really focus on throughout that draft. Make our deck as consistent as possible, but sealed, you're at the mercy of what you've opened, and I believe this is about the best pile we can salvage from the pulls here. It's still got a lot of raw power to it, and our opponents also could not draft a really consistent mana curve. They would just have to have gotten lucky and opened it, so they may have their own issues with their decks, playing their own filler that they're not very interested in, like Beetleheaded Merchants and stuff filling out the deck. So, yeah, I think my expectations may just be a little too high for sealed after playing so much draft lately. This is probably a perfectly reasonable deck. It is relying a lot on the power of its rares, but that is the same for most sealed decks. That's the general idea. Yeah, I think this is about the best we're going to get. We'll call it a deck here, hop into the gameplay, see how far this one can take us. Here we are on the play for game number 1. Got Court Official into Trebuchet. Court Official probably does not get to get an attack in on turn 3, but should their curve be really bad, that could be exciting. We also don't have the 3rd land in this opening hand without swamp cycling the Canyon Crawler. If I miss my land draw next turn, that will probably be the play, though. Now that we've got a really powerful 4-drop we want to hit early. There's an Herbalist, a 3 toughness, 2 mana creature. So that is definitely going to stop the Trebuchet from doing anything here. I still kind of want to play it. I could also Swamp Cycle for the drill. I just really don't want to Swamp Cycle and just draw the land here. Do I need to blow up Herbalist next turn? It's a solid target, but they could probably play any other creature and I'd still be happy. I think I probably should make sure I'm playing drill next turn. Because Court Official and Trebuchet, neither of these really have any impact on the board right now. There's Sparring Dummy. So they're going to use Sparring Dummy to draw more lands, and they're going to use Herbalist as just a land already. So let's go ahead and Fire Nation Drill one of the two for sure. I think I kill Herbalist over Dummy because it's immediate mana. Dummy is only mana when they do hit lands. Excuse me. Do they have the 1 mana trick to save it? Wow. Alright, well that's really good. They had the octopus form. Fire Nation Drill still does 2 for 1 them. It makes them discard that, and then they'll have to trade something into the drill soon enough. Fire Lord Azula. So if they cast an instant when she's attacking, we're going to have a terrible time. Can't do anything about that with this hand. We've already tried to drill the Herbalist and it didn't work. So that's it for the removal. So we go Court Official, Trebuchet, Swing, I believe. Sparring Dummy mills into the land for them to discard the Court Official. Very lucky Sparring Dummy activation. Do I crew and send here, or do I hold it off for the crew on blocks? Trying to block when they can double their next instant feels really bad. I think I'm supposed to crew an attack here. And I suppose in the future... Again, I wasn't really thinking about them having mana up because it was mana off of their Herbalist. But I suppose in the future, against blue in particular, we can wait till we have 5 mana to Fire Nation Drill. That way, if they have the Octopus form, I have the extra mana to make their stuff lose the hexproof. Mill a Raven Eagle. So this is just 5 color, all of their rares in the sealed pool. It looks like, yep, Raven Eagle, Firebend Ascension, Firelord Azula. Seems good. There's Canyon Crawler for us. I'd like to get this Beetle-Headed Merchant setting in. Do I play around Quench and lead with Canyon Crawler because I think the Beetle-Headed Merchants is more important? I think so, because either of these resolving is already pretty good for me. This is only a slightly worse play than getting a resolved Beetle-Headed Merchants. And it's obviously way better for me if they have the Quench to be able to save my card draw engine. It also works against removal from opponent. Jeez Louise. Firelord Azula, Raven Eagle, Earthbender Ascension, Firebender Ascension. It's 4 rares so far. Luckily, 2 of the 4 were milled instead of actually doing something there. But green has good graveyard recursion in the set. There's a lesson that picks up a permanent from your grave and gives you a clue. So that's a good 2-for-1 graveyard recursion spell. Another good 2-for-1 for us. We kill their 2/2 and get river removal spell. And then we try to use the merchants as our card draw engine to bring us way ahead in this late game. Nope, not gonna happen. They draw more removal. The all removal, all colors deck. Aang's Journey unkicked to find a black source and have full 5 color, even if Herbalist dies. Yep, Land off the top for us. Drop a Mayan pass. Mai does get to start hitting for 2 damage a turn if they keep tapping their dummy during main phase 1. Because our 1-3 runs into their 2-3, but our 2-1 boulder hits them in the face. Archers is good here. Zuko's also solid. We were looking for a card draw engine. They do have 2 mana up for potential quench. Blue does seem to be potential core color here. If they're running a green-blue 2-drop, it's probably green-blue at the core. There's also a lot of cheap red, but those are burn spells, so they're more splashable. But yeah, 1 mana blue trick as well. I feel like it's probably green-blue as the heaviest colors. There's an auto wind bomb rare right there. Katara, Water Tribe's Hope. We're certainly playing sealed, aren't we? Let's make their whole board 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At minimum 6 6s when they attack. Katara attacks with vigilance as well. They can tap their other creatures or artifacts to make them even bigger. Got a couple chumps here. Trading into any of their creatures is solid right now. I don't think they can afford to block Mai with Katara, so I'm thinking we attack with Zuko and Mai at the very least. Archers trading into just a 1-1 doesn't feel great, but again, just lowering their creature count at all helps us be less dead to Katara, so I think I am attacking all 3 of these. That's such a bold block on Mai here. Because I was bluffing basically any instant we eat Katara without losing a creature. That is not an instant. Rough. Alright. Put them to 12. Fire Nation Engineer for a +1/+1 counter. We don't have a lot of instants in this deck, but our opponent doesn't know that. Probably chumping with both the court officials, so I just put the counter on Zuko here. Do I have any 1-mana cards I could draw that matter here? Firebending Lesson or Deadly Precision? I have 2 Deadly Precision and 1 Firebending Lesson. So that's 3 of my 21 cards. But I can only have one of those 2 colors up, so I go for the... I keep black untapped. I have a 2 in 21 chance of Deadly Precision in Katara. And their crackback isn't the craziest right now. This has Defender. I don't think it's worth it. Because, yeah, it's like a 2 and 21 of doing that. It's also a 19 and 21 of just milling. Welcome to my face, Katara. Three damage. Otter Penguin. So we're looking for Firebending Lesson, one of our 2 precisions, our 1 Lightning Strike, or our 2nd Drill. It's a lot of outs. And that's a swamp. And that's a swamp as well. Cool. Now they double block Zuko. They can't activate Katara when it's not their turn, so we don't have to worry about them just eating this Zuko. This would be us killing 2 creatures. They put Otter Penguin and Herbalist in front of it. Or Otter Penguin and... yeah, no, Otter Penguin and Herbalist is basically their only option. I think I go for this attack so I can Firebend and have the 4 mana up for any of our 4 mana outs. Oh, beautiful. Lightning Strike. I mean, that's going on Katara. So they double block to kill Zuko and we Lightning Strike to kill Katara, is what happens here. Triple block to make sure Zuko dies. Lightning Strike Katara. Kill the other 2 naturally. Okay, we have fought through Katara now. There's Cycle of Renewal for double land out of their deck. So they are down a Katara, an Earthbender Ascension, a Raven Eagle, a Firelord Azula, a Firebender Ascension. I mean, in theory, they shouldn't have too many more bombs to fight through. Oh, they have double Katara. They have double Katara. But they milled the second one, thankfully. That's not fun at all. You're not in a great spot to be attacking with that. 7/7 Trample Haste. Get 4 mana every time it attacks. If they have 6 or more unspent mana, it has Flying and Indestructible. So they're just going to dump all their mana into it and give it Flying and Indestructible, but they still need a little bit more blockers to actually get full value out of it. I'll keep poking them for 2 in the sky every turn. Then double Fire Nation Engineer. Theoretically, make somebody big enough. They'd have to be an 8/8 to attack into Ozai. So I guess not. I mean, where am I putting these counters? Because I'm not getting anybody to 8/8 stats. Am I just spreading the love? 2, 3, 4 engineers? Sure. Send in the Ozai. Just need a good blocker here. If I do anything on blocks, they just make it indestructible anyway. By tapping more mana. So go to 10. Double Chump Blocker was the top deck. Still get the flying damage in, and their chumps, not kills. Wandering Musicians. Not that good here. And I guess it's a one-shot flying lethal if I order the triggers right. Get a mountain from the deck. Freedom. We are 1-0 heading into game 2. Alright, here we are for game number 2. On the play here. Corrupt Court Official on 2. They discard a Wolf Bat. Great card to discard because they can just bring it back later. They're on blue, white, black. No black source yet, but they discarded a black spell, so we know. They could quench our Trebuchet, but then they don't have a quench for Fire Nation Drill. Instead, they're going to Island Cycle the Giant Koi. June Bounty Hunter is the play. Get a land here. They could have the hexproof trick for June, specifically Octopus form. So I can play around Octopus form by waiting on the Fire Nation Drill, but I also play around Quench by casting it right now. I think Heibai's fine on this board. We can lead Heibai. Sold out the Heibai. Get a big blocking turret. Now they are tapped out from any nonsense. We can definitely drill the June. Still have deadly precision for their next threats. And Trebuchet can crew the drill every turn, so the Heibai counters were still useful here. Yue the Moon Spirit. 3/3 Flying Vigilance. That is fine. Doesn't do a ton. Could Lightning Strike it here. I don't think I really care unless they block. Since I have Trample, I can wait till they block here. Yeah, sure. I'll Lightning Strike. Put them to 9. The Legend of Kuruk. Scry 2, draw a card. Then Scry 2, draw a card again. Basically, if this flips, they're probably going to win. 4/3. Make a spirit every time they cast a spell, and they can waterbend 20 to get an extra turn. Ooh, Wolfbat goes to the board for a chump here. They save their mana up instead. Well, I pray this is them holding up like a quench instead of them holding up removal, because if they got the removal, then the drill gonna die. Let's Longfang pre-combat, so if they are planning on just killing the drill, I get a +1/+1 counter out of the deal. Zula always lies the token. We'll put it on drill so they're dead to 1 boulder hit. Don't return the bat again. Playing a Zula. I believe they've already played land for turn. So they can't play the 3-mana Longfang. Play the 2-mana Court Official, but then they're dead. Well, I mean, either way, they're dead to the boulder. And there's the concession from our opponent, and that is 2-0 now, guaranteed a 50-50 record at worst, because again, you only get 2 losses and you're out. So 2-0 heading into game 3. Here we are for game number 3. Uh-oh. Drawn 2 double black spells this game, so Secret Tunnel could be pretty awkward for us. We're on a 9 swamp, 7 mountain split. So my justification for Secret Tunnel was if I didn't run it, I was probably just going to run another mountain anyway and go 9-8 on it. Hello. Secret Tunnel. But yeah, if we miss a swamp here, it's going to be really bad. The 3rd mountain was a super rough draw. Glider Staff, a Corrupt Court Official? Do it. Aww. No swamp. So, rough start it is, but looks like a rough start for our opponent as well. They just have to play a no value Glider Staff. Freedom Fighters. Precision the Reinforcements, because that's a strong card and holding off damage. These are both humans, so we could just have 3 unblockable damage later in the game if we get roadblocked. And that is getting getting roadblocked. Thank goodness for the swamp, right on time. Blow up the 4/4 and send in the 2/1. They're down to 14. If they can airbend their Earth King, they still get another 4/4 out of it. It's pretty nasty. But they'll just play a boulder, which is going to be big enough to theoretically get some attack triggers off the Earth King. Union Archers is the draw. Archers discard the mountain, draw a card, probably play Long Fang and attack with Fire Nation Drill. Yeah. Trade is accepted. We'll get a +1/+1 counter here. Everybody's got low toughness. Put on another human. 2 unblockable humans for 6, 2 turns in a row is the plan. Rocky Rebuke, a human. Longfang, also a human, but I don't love putting all my eggs in one basket. Yeah, I'm going to spread them on the other humans then. And Poxbearers. Land for turn is the draw. See, here's the flaw with that plan. Now it's a 3-turn kill. I think it's still a play. Path to Redemption of Union Archers. And everybody's a human, so we're still good. Path would have made it a 3-turn kill either way, and Lightning Strike gets it either way. As well. We did it. Secret tunnel. Can't resist. That's my first secret tunnel win. And I was just saying that game, how we might be getting punished for the secret tunnel run. Nope, we're getting rewarded by the end of it, after finding the second swamp there for the Fire Nation drill. Alright, it's earned its spot. That is nasty. With any 2 random creatures that share a type. Just ends the game real easily. We are 3-0 now, so no matter what, we have won more games than we lost today, and we will be leaving with some of our entry fee back. Make it a little bit easier on the old wallet to do the 7 runs if we have to keep playing them. Here we are for game 4. No play till turn 3, but as we saw from the entire sealed pool we opened today, that will absolutely be the case more often than not in any deck we build out of this sealed pool. That is going to be rough on the draw here. We are on the draw against a turn 2 mana dork, which means they're playing 5 mana cards, potentially. Oh, that's even more ramp now. The Audience and the Badger Mole Cub. Badger Mole Cub absolutely destroying constructed formats right now. I'm not going to pretend it's nearly that insane in draft. It's certainly weaker in draft and sealed, but still a very strong card. Luckily, the Treetop Freedom Fighters is the roadblock that we needed. Run out Wandering Musicians and try to save my permanents for Beetle-Headed Merchants, I think. So we can do some digging and find some more spells in the late game. Speaking of doing digging and finding more spells, Katara Bending Prodigy is going to draw our opponent an extra card every single turn, which is very bad for us. Can attack into her with these at least and get them down to 14. So they certainly can't block. Here's that Beetle-Headed Merchants. We are very interested in getting that rolling because we are certainly flooding right now. We're on 8 lands drawn so far. There's the stun for the Merchants, so it is not going to do any card draw for us. I think their best play would be to just pass and then draw the card, because they could hold all their blockers up and still draw the card. Oh my god, Secret Tunnel's actually kind of nuts here. With Wandering Musicians as a human. This is a bear spirit. None of these are spirits, sadly. Dang. But yeah, Secret Tunnel with allies could be big. This is a big human as well. Okay, I don't need to activate it this turn, so I think I'm playing Hey Bye this turn. It's probably attack all 3. To hit for enough damage that Secret Tunnel could be lethal next turn on the right creature. Because they're down to 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. These 2 would be lethal. I'm going to play Heibai as a big scary threat. But the plan is certainly going to be unblockable musicians and merchants for Exactsies. Heibai's kind of just a distraction here. And I certainly don't want to play the secret tunnel and let them know it's coming. Really hoping they don't have like the blue removal spell that specifically works on tapped creatures. Because then obviously they would hit one of the two creatures that is trying to get lethal right now. Snowballers, target Heibai, please. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very good distraction from Heibai. Unless they also have removal and then they still got us. Tough, sure. Okay, I'm not gonna do the secret tunnel emote out loud this game because it would seem extra rude because I didn't lead with it. Secret tunnel. Oh, I just get insane damage here. Jesus. All right, 4-0 it'll be. I think we're near the break-even point now. Not quite there. I think we get like 7,000 gems back or something. But if we can win one more game, we are in the money. Now, we're not in the collector booster box money, but we'll be leaving with more gems that we paid to enter after just one more win here, potentially. So 4-0 heading into game number 5. All right, here we are on the play for game number 5. Thanks to Canyon Crawler, I know I get to play these out. And any land draw on the whole deck, I get to the Fire Nation drill. So I'm going to keep this one. We draw the mountain, and we're super happy. Then we basically get to swamp cycle the Canyon Crawler for free at worst. Perfect. Free swamp cycle of Canyon Crawler. You love to see it. Playing against green-white. Could be a very strong aggressive color pair being green-white allies. But they start with Pretending Poxbearers, so now we do not get to attack with archers, because that's a terrible attack into that. Lead with Trebuchet. I think I lead with Trebuchet. Gives me an expendable card for Heibai turn 4, maybe? There's a hexproof trick in white as well. There's Enter the Avatar State, so we could wait for a turn 5 Fire Nation drill. Or whenever we have 5 mana Fire Nation drill. There's also an Indestructible trick in green, 1 into green, plus a +1 counter Indestructible. This gets around both of them if we have the 1 mana up. South Pole Voyager. Please tap out of that final white mana you have. Shoot. I would really like to kill that immediately before they potentially draw a card off of it, but if they have Enter the Avatar State, they could counter our removal here. Send in the archers to get our sack fodder, get half the Poxbearers out of the way. It didn't seem they have Enter the Avatar State, so I'm going to try Deadly Precision here. Okay, they did not have any instant this turn. And again, counters on the Trebuchet look kind of useless, but they make it block a little better, and if we get it to 2 power, then it can crew the Fire Nation drill. Kyoshi Battle Fan. More blocks on the ground. Enough stuff to block the Engineer, but I can't put any counters on the Engineer anyway. So I couldn't have tried to get that through. Okay, I hit the 5th mana, just in case, but they're tapped out, so we know they're not going to stop Fire Nation drill. honestly don't even need to blow up any of these with the drill here, so I kind of want to just hay buy. Trade into the 3-2 and then play a 5-5. It's not the best trade we could have gotten out of Fire Nation Engineer, but I think it's worth it to get the hay buy bigger. And particularly, we definitely want to save Fire Nation Drill there. I'm in a full control mode. I don't know if I can stack these triggers in a way to sack a thing to it. I don't think so. But let's see. This resolves first, and then this resolves. That would theoretically let me do it. Okay, I could. Sure. World's chunkiest Fire Navy trebuchet if they kill it. Let's go. Trebuchet. The thickest. We have found the Fire Nation drill targets. With the 1 mana up to stop hexproof. Pass because we can't attack. And then just start steamrolling with a drill and a boulder every turn. I guess the drill's going to trade off pretty quickly, but that's fine. Got a Zuko card draw engine when the dust settles. I do like that card. I don't think I secret tunnel to get the drill through, though. But I will start secret tunneling Zuko in the future. I think it's better to spend the mana to get Zuko out now and actually have the trebuchet up while crewing the drill. Because I feel it's likely they're just going to play 1-for-1 removal on drill that kills it even if I make it unlockable. But if they don't and I just clear their board, that's fine too. Yeah, this ended up playing much better than if we tried to go secret tunnel this turn. Jet Freedom Fighter kills Zuko but not Trebuchet. Sadness. I gotta draw a creature here. If they draw removal and kill Trebuchet before we draw any creatures, we're pretty dead. But I just need one creature, can be basically anything, to start secret tunneling in. That one has haste. You love to see it. Three-turn clock. There's a Foggy Swamp Vinebender. Just a big creature. We got a big blocker for that. Might be better to hold the 1/1 back than poke for one more because it takes 3 more swings either way. But this gets me closer to a win if they do find a way to disrupt the unblockable damage or like kill the trebuchet. Finebender's almost big enough to get through trebuchet, and all we're hitting lands. I can't chump block the Vinebender anyway. So, 2-turn kill. Now they have to kill... I think this ended up being worth it, because now removal doesn't save them, right? They could kill Trebuchet, but I still unblockable in for 2. Alright, and that's game. They just top decked more mana like we did, but one of our lands was Secret Tunnel, so... Secret Tunnel finds another victory. And we're 5-0 now. In the money out of this Arena Direct. That is a very hard feat. Get 5 wins before only 2 losses and best of 1 sealed. But luckily we have really opened the sealed pool to do it. The double Fire Nation drill and the Secret Tunnel just taking names so far. That is 10,800 gems and 24 packs of Avatar: The Last Airbender as the minimum prize out today. Here we are for Game 6. This will be our first Tigerdillo game, so we can show off how mid that card is. I might even discard it to Union Archers, honestly. I have the merchants for it if the game goes long. That is something. First time flyer. Well, I would definitely like to play the Reach creature. 5 mana in the hand. I would rather discard the 5th mana. Yeah, I'd rather discard the 5th mana than one of the spells here. Find a different 5th mana anyway. Keep the flying off of us. Our opponent's on the play, so we are kind of by default on the defensive. Tigerdillo. I could see Deadly Precisioning Katara. Sacking Tigerdillo, because Katara, if Katara draws any cards, Katara's gonna 2-for-1 us anyway. Okay, let's get Zuko quenched and then resolve Beetle-Headed Merchants or Heibai, I guess. Because Heibai doesn't get Tigerdillo active anyway. Yeah. Yep. I have a double quench hand here. And I hope not. Deadly Precision or Beetle-Headed Merchants really need to resolve. Play around Quench by sacking Tigerdillo to Katara, but I'm about to play the 4-power creature. That feels real bad. They have a non-counterspell instant in their hand as well. Beetle-Headed Merchants is worse if they're holding up removal as the instant. But I can't think of what white removal it is for 4. Sandbender Storm? Deadly Precision is better against Sandbender Storm here. If it's Quench, we really get got either way. Through the Hexproof trick. What an opener. Double Quench Katara and Invasion reinforcements to flash in with all the quenches. Water Tribe Captain, sure. Well, this game did show off pretty much all of the really bad cards in the deck. which we said when we built the sealed pool. It's got a lot of them. All right. I did say earlier there's a chance we should have gone just sack, kill Katara. Sack Tigerdillo, kill Katara. The game would have played much better had we did that. So I think that certainly was the line. But even if we did, be an uphill battle from there, because then they still quench every threat we play until we're down to like these mediocre ones. So that would have given us the shot, though. We should have just sacked the Tigerdillo, just gave in and killed Katara. Because the thing about Katara is it's a strong enough card once you get to the late game with that water bending that if she sticks around, she's going to at least 2-for-1 us, where she's on the board and they draw at least one extra card. So spending 2 cards to kill 1 card on your opponent's board, usually not the greatest, but if that card is going to draw your opponent more, like 2 or 3 cards over the course of the game, it's a perfectly reasonable trade. So just while they were tapped out, I should have just sacked Tigerdillo and blown up the Katara early there. That would have made this game a back and forth here where it's closer to anyone's game. I think our opponent is still favored there because his hand was real bad, but we certainly wanted to just flat lost this early. So that was a game I should have went with my gut there and just been like, yeah, just 2-for-1 yourself to kill Katara. Katara's worth it. She was also like their only threat for a while, so. All right. Rough one, but 5-1. That is how the cookie crumbles on that one. Head into game number 7. Here we are for game number 7. This hand desperately needs to draw a land. If it draws no lands, it doesn't do anything. And if it doesn't draw a red source, it's also quite stuck. It's got some of our weakest cards as well. It's got the Tigerdillo, bunch of 1 toughness stuff. I think we have to take the mulligan, keep this one, ditch the Tigerdillo. But it's also not a particularly good hand. Playing against a red deck with turn 1 Fire Nation cadets. I'm gonna get just aggroed out by a draft deck and sealed. They are Boros, the fastest color pair. Cadets and Compassionate Healer. We've drawn all lands so far. Drop Corrupt Court Official. Get rid of their 3/3 tapper with Corrupt Court Official. They play a tap land. They play a Water Tribe Rallier. Incredible card as a mana sink in the long game. Very likely to Firebending lessen that, but I don't have to do that just yet, because they're unlikely to tap it this next turn. They're still going to want to play to the board for now. Okay, let's get Mythicked. I saw the top 3, you play them until the end of your next turn, so that just straight up draws all of those cards. They just play the Plains and the Disciple and the Razor Rings. Okay, so 4 mana, draw 3, get a mana of any color, and then get a 4/4 that spits out 4/4 Flying Dragons every turn. Okay, well now I have to hold on to Firebending Lesson to kill that Avatar Roku. And it's already 4/1 to us even if we kill him. Yeah, okay. Pressure our opponent, get some damage in here before they have Razor Rings up. We try to outrace this. Doesn't feel like the most likely way to win this, but it's a chance. Yeah. I think we are racing. I might be racing enough to Firebending lessen the Rallier for prowess extra my damage here. Maybe even the Compassionate Healer. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can hit for 9 and blow up one of their creatures. I really do feel our best bet is outracing instead of just sitting here and waiting for this. Because it's like then even if I kill that, they're drawing every turn off Rallier. I'm going to save this. I just have utterly no shot if I don't have removal up for Avatar when it flips. So I hit for 2 less damage there. I can still blow up the Rallier if something happens where I need to do that. Sun Warriors is the 3/5 blocker here to roadblock us. Yeah, the aggro plan would not be working here. Off the 3/5. Yeah, gain 1, scry 1. Okay. I think it played correctly to hold this lesson off. But it's not looking like a good position. Regardless. Freedom Fighters doesn't do anything here. We just blow up the Avatar and die to Sun Warriors. We have to blow up the Avatar here instead of playing the Freedom Fighters, because if they flip into the Avatar and declare an attack with Sun Warriors, that's going to give them enough mana to immediately get a dragon out of the deal. So we need to blow up Avatar before they can get a dragon. So before the firebending trigger goes on the stack. Or before the firebending trigger resolves, really. If they have any protection for Avatar Roku, we just get bombed out by it. As you do against Mythics. Okay, no free dragon for them, and we have a double block on Sun Warriors if they don't have a trick in their hand. There aren't a lot of tricks that would... I guess instant speed removal. If they have instant speed removal to blow up one of our 2 blockers, that's how they protect Sun Warriors. But most combat tricks to like buff the Sun Warriors could have buffed the Avatar to save it from that burn. Okay. I'm not gonna lie and say that we're favored or anything, but we are finding the best that we can considering the circumstances. Or doing the best we can considering the circumstances. Which remains the same here. We find precision for Sun Warriors. I think I need to hard cast this. The 2/1 body is just not good against the 1/1 token anyway. So like make a single 2/1 and sack the 1/1. We just wait to play this until after blowing that up. Now we've killed the 1/1 now, the Freedom Fighters look a lot better. The problem is because they've had bigger threats we had to kill, we couldn't like also deal with the Water Tribe Rallier, so they still have the card draw engine to grind this out better than us. Just a land there. Why are they running Sozin's Comet? I guess it works with Water Tribe Rallier and Sun Warrior's ability. Yeah, this might be the best Sozin's Comet deck that I've seen. They have a lot of instant speed activated abilities. It's still really funny though. That card literally just gives you mana off of your attack, so it's mana you can only use during combat. It's like a really narrow ritual, but they do have a lot of places to dump that mana, so it's pretty cute. Okay. Now they can block Wandering Musicians with a 3/3 and a 2/2 Deserter's Disciple. Just don't think we're actually jamming in at this rate now. I've got a discard a card, draw a card spell in this deck, so we'll keep our last land. Okay, Sozin's Comet, sure. What is their instant in hand if this is the play? I'm just gonna die to something crazy in their hand? Probably draw a million off Water Tribe Rallier, right? It's gotta be a good instant. Okay. And we'll see what it is. If none of my creatures die, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They die to us getting a prowess trigger. So if I top deck a removal spell for whatever they play off of the Water Tribe Rally, or we kill them on the crackback. What on earth instant am I about to just get mogged by? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Literally any prowess trigger would be 14, but they're going to play a creature because they have infinite off of this Water Tribe Rallier draw. So I think we block like this and pray to top deck removal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. They would need to do 8 more. They could do like +2/+0 to everybody. Oh, well, I mean, that obviously wins no matter what. Fire Comet, Faded Firepower. I mean, fair enough, I guess. We did win almost all of our games, if not all of them, off of games where we drew a drill, but this makes all of their creatures 15 plus power, so what are you gonna do? Even if we block with everybody, we die. Rough. Sucks getting all the losses in a quick row like that. I feel like this was one of the tightest games that we played, period. I think I did the absolute best line I could every turn. We just, like, our spells against theirs had absolutely no chance. The card quality there was so high. That was 3 red mythics. That was 3 red mythics. Yeah. They just top decked another rare off of the Rallier as well with the Iro T Master. Jesus. All right. Well, the draft, or not the draft, but the Arena Direct ends the way that it started, with us playing against infinite rares from our opponent. We won the first time because they milled most of their rares. They milled like the second Katara and stuff. That was a very lucky first game of Magic and a pretty lucky start to the run. So I guess it all balances out with a rough ending to the run. But that is a 5-win run to start us off. We are leaving this event with more gems than we paid to enter. I think that was an incredibly respectable run for this sealed pool. I'm very happy with how I built this, and for the most part, I don't think we could have changed the outcome of this event outside of our very first loss. The game against the Katara player, I think I just needed to sack Tigerdillo and kill Katara, and then again, we're not favored. We don't win that game, guaranteed or anything, but we actually have a chance. It becomes that kind of 50-50 game where maybe we would start drawing some pretty powerful spells in the late game there to turn things around. We certainly would have had more turns to try to do so had I precisioned Katara immediately in that one game. So that's the only game that I really think we could have changed the outcome of too much. Obviously, every win that we had doesn't really matter. We won the games in the end. And that second loss, I really don't think there was any chance whatsoever. Any way we play it. And I think this was the best sealed pool we could have built. It was the most efficient, most consistent mana curve out of every single color in the sealed pool. It gives us some of the strongest cards with the double Fire Nation drill. We got a lot of decent little synergy plays with Trebuchet popping off for us a lot. Some long fang counters flying around. Some weird hey-bye counters. There was that 5-9 Trebuchet that one game that was pretty fun. But we also found some really good Wandering Musician plays with Secret Tunnel. That was sick. And then also with the Double Striker, the My Jaded Edge, that was also pretty fun. So I think that's about as good as we were going to do today. Outside of the Katara game, maybe could have been 6-1 right now if we had precisioned Katara sacking Tigerdillo and then got lucky draws. There was a chance that maybe we get into a good matchup for the final game, but no use dwelling on it. We got plenty of runs still to play. That is going to start us off with a 5-win run, very positive record on our first attempt at the Avatar: The Last Airbender Arena Direct. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send some more in the recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below, and if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.